Career Quest is gearing up for another year at the ETSU Mini Dome, and they're adding some new features this year. Dr. Keith Johnson with ETSU's College of Business and Technology, as well as Mary Ellen Miller with the TVA, are here with more. Thank you both so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, and happy Friday. We're getting so close to Career Quest. We've been talking about this for a long time now. So, Dr. Johnson, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
You obviously work with ETSU students.
Yes.
Working with students at a much younger age coming to Career Quest, how is that for you? What are you trying to convey to those younger students that are coming in?
I think for the younger students, the first thing that we're trying to convey is that just exposure.
Right.
Many students are not aware of all the different technologies that exist out there, and technologies that existed last year has evolved to become new technologies this year. And over the last few years, the rate of change in technology is exponential. And so things that we were doing a year, 2, 3 years ago are somewhat obsolete today. So each day is a new day for technology.
Right, and I'm sure just exposing younger kids to that ever-changing technology is just part one, and then part two is just saying there are careers in these technologies, right?
Exactly.
And so what is your reaction from these younger students when they come in and they maybe are seeing or hearing about something for the first time?
I'm very amazed. They're truly the deer in headlights when they're able to see the new applications of robotics, 3D printing, stereolithography, and all the kinds of things that we do in terms of incorporating different technologies into newer areas. And some areas have names that they're unfamiliar with, such as mechatronics, where you're combining some robotics and electronics and manufacturing and trying to come up with new solutions to different problems.
Right. And so do you find that when students come and they maybe are seeing something for the first time, do you find that they are more engaged and very much more interested in it and wanting to learn about the career path and how they can maybe be more involved?
I think they are. They're very excited about it, and we try to show them the end goal or the end product so that then when we begin to incorporate the math and sciences, they're a little bit more receptive.
They understand that that is part of this career and it will help you. Yeah, I'm sure. And so you mentioned, the way IT just has changed and things that have been around, a couple of years ago, they maybe are not around now. What are some of the things that when students walk in that maybe they will be able to see what has changed over the years?
Well, when we talk about robotics and we talk about PLCs, which are programmable logic controllers, those are the kinds of things that you see in autonomous vehicles. Right now, I don't think in Johnson City you'll see those vehicles, but I think soon to come we'll see those kinds of vehicles. And the same technology that we talk about right now will be the same technology that will be applicable to those particular vehicles.
Wonderful. And so Mary Ellen, you all have been with TVA and been a partner from the very beginning. Why have you guys been involved in, and what makes you want to come back year after year?
Well, TVA's mission is to serve the people of the Tennessee Valley to make life better, and absolutely one direct tie-in with that is the education of our future workforce. And we saw Career Quest as a great opportunity to get on board with a program that was really going to promote STEM education, and we're all about STEM education. So we're able to interact, like he was saying, even with the people who are engineers on the project, on the Boone Dam project, for example. Some of them come over, and the students love that interaction of the people who are actually doing the job.
And is that one thing that you're wanting to do with students when they come to your booth, is make it very interactive?
Yes, it's very interactive. We unveiled a model of the 3D model of the Boone Dam project last year, and both the students and the teachers loved being able to take it apart and put pieces back together and see what we're doing out there. In addition, this year we're partnering with one of our engineering firms on site, Black & Veatch, and they're going to be bringing augmented reality and virtual reality.
Wow.
So I think the students are really going to like that.
Some great new additions, for sure.
Updated energy efficiency projects, updated circuitry. They like the hands-on circuitry that we bring, so really looking forward to it.
Right, some hands-on demonstrations as well. Well, thank you both so much for being here. We really appreciate it. I'm sure we'll talk to you again when we are live from Career Quest. All the information for this upcoming Career Quest happening at the ETSU Mini Dome is right there on your screen. You can find out more information at careerquesttn.com.